with another episode of the Free Idea Podcast while driving. This time in the non-traffic of Bastrop over here. Got a 40-minute ride. And today my idea that I had a moment ago, and it was amazing, I had to write it down. And I believe it's a million dollar idea for anybody who wants to try it. Customizable cars. Yes. But you say, but we already have customizable cars. You can do stuff with your cars. Oh, really? Can you? Hmm. Can you really? Try to take out one thing out of your car without having to do 12 other steps. Try to take out the headlamps, the front ones. Try to do that in one step or two steps. No way. You're gonna do 12 steps. You're gonna have to take out so many things before you be able to take out those headlamps. But wouldn't it be cool if they sold cars that were mechanic FIY friendly, do it yourself friendly? Would be amazing. I know for a fact they would sell like pancakes in America. Here, people love to customize cars, but they're so difficult to customize them. They're getting difficult more and more and more. As time passes, the new year cars are engineered in such a way so that you have to take it to their mechanic, the brand mechanic, so that they would do stuff to it. For example, if you want to change the oil, they're going to make it annoying so that you need special tools to change out the oil. And by special tools, I mean it's going to be so deep in there that you're going to need a wrench that bends as it twists, something wacky. They always make it overcomplicated. And it's on purpose, 100%. The car manufacturers don't make money, or is it manufacturers, or maybe it's the car lots. But one of them don't make money by just selling your car. They make money mostly by having you come to their shop and repair said car. So they make more money on parts than they make money on selling the car. That's what I heard, and I don't need no evidence other than that to know that it's real. If it happens with phones and batteries, it's definitely happening with cars, 100% no doubt. So imagine if somebody out there came up with a car that was engineered in such a way that it would be easy to remove most things in 1 to 2 steps. For example, that person could make a car that it's all the same for every other brand. It's kind of like, well, he would have three. That's what I imagine. Three car bodies. The normal sedan, four-door little car for normal people, family, people that don't care much. Then you have the sports car look body, which is more cool looking and it can fit more cool stuff for speed and vroom vroom, maybe cooler, bigger engine. And then you have the third iteration, maybe for a big family. So a bigger, spacious car. Or you don't have to stop there. You can add trucks, truck bodies, pickup trucks that are also customizable. And then finally, which I don't think is going to happen, but SUVs, customizable SUVs, there's a niche out there for that. Hmm. So you're this company and you make these bodies, the bodies of the car. So everything stock. So everything is just customizable and friendly. So engineered in such a way that anybody like you and me could just in 2 steps take out the front headlamps and change the light bulb to a different color. Maybe a light bulb that changes colors for the fun of it. Like in Christmas, you can change them to red and green and blue. Just for the fun of it, why not? There's nothing illegal about that, is it there? Maybe. Then you can change your high beams to be higher, even higher beams, more powerful. You could change your rims a little easier. Or maybe rim covers. That's something that they already sell though. But damn, it's not easy to take out wheels, is there? Wheels are already somewhat customizable, but not entirely. So I guess I'll stay away from wheels. Then what else could you customize? The engine, of course, you could swap it for a more strong engine or efficient engine or an EV engine or electrical engine. I mean, it'd be cool if you could just swap stuff. But although I think that you would have to swap axles. And talking about axles, why can't we swap the shocks? The shocks for the car to make the shocks even cooler and more responsive and more bouncy or whatever. And the color of it. And then you can swap the brakes. The brakes is gonna look so cool as well. I don't know. But you get the idea. You swap. How about swapping? Why stop there? How about swapping the doors for fun? Hmm? How about just swapping the door to a different color door? Or a different door with a funny handle? Or just swap the handles themselves. You don't even have to swap the door, just the handles. Have customizable handles. That would be so cool. Everybody could put nice handles. Some of them could add those Tesla looking handles that go in the vehicle. And other people, I know like girls would customize it to handles with cushion or diamond looking fakies. Looking very, very ratchet, very de la pulga, but that's going to be fine because it's customizable. How about tinting your own windows in a couple easy steps? How about swapping your windows? Don't you hate when a rug hits your window and it's broken, so you just drive it for a lifetime until that crack just keeps on going and cracking along? Well, imagine you can swap your front visor super quick. You don't need much. You need nobody to install it for you. How about your rear view mirrors? Huh? How about that? Imagine changing the shell of your rear view mirror to make it look super cool and different color. How about that? Make it easy to change it. And then the rear view mirrors, change those. And why stop there? Why not mess with your AC? How about swapping it for an even cooler AC, huh? How about if you live somewhere that it's cold, you swap it for an even hotter AC? How about that? How about your water cooler for your engine? You can swap that out just like computers and make it even cool the engine more. How about swapping your screen? Every car has one of those touch screens, but some are bigger, some are smaller, some have different features. How about being able to just swap that out? Like a Nintendo, Super Nintendo game where you just like take it out of one single cable. You kind of just take it out and then put another one in one easy step. How about changing your parking handle to a cool parking handle with an 8 ball from the billboards billboards game? How about switching out your seats to more cushiony office looking seats, more sponge? How about taking out some seats that you don't use? There's just so many things that you could swap out of a car. And yes, cars now already are able to do that. But it takes an expert mechanic to do that. It takes not only an expert mechanic, but somebody who's also very passionate about changing things in the car and learning how to do it properly because there's so many things that are always messed up. These professional mechanics have to cut stuff, make their own tools, make their own screws, make their own metal bending and welding and all that stuff. So that's not consumer friendly. I'm talking about the normal Joe average person being able to customize their vehicle to whatever they want in two easy steps to one. So you make a car that is super friendly for people, engineers working on it to make it, to make everything use the least amount of tools needed and the least amount of odd screws with odd screw heads. Just use one screw head for everything. The plus sign one or the minus sign. Everybody has those. And make everything just, yeah, easy. Very easy. It'll be so cool. How about a car that you don't need a jack to lift? Instead, you pull some levers and the car itself lifts itself from the ground so you can work on it. How about that? And then you can just put a jack under it for safety, but you don't have to have four other jacks to hold it in place. How about that? Now I'm cooking. Hear me out. I'm cooking right here. All right. I better be recording because this is good stuff. Imagine all the cool things that you could swap out of the car, and there's more things that you don't know because we never pay attention to. How about the logo? The cars always have these logos that they just come with them, like the Toyota logo and the RAV4 logo and the XLE logo and all those little logos. How about swapping that to a different logo of your choice that you can make yourself or one of their own brand, but in different color or different look? Look, people here in the United States love cars. Cars are never going away anymore, and they love to customize, and there's a culture for that. But it takes experts. And then, even if you have the expert that can swap things, a mechanic who's a master mechanic, welder, handyman, and then he is also passionate about doing changes in the cars to stay in the business forever. You also need a ton of money to pay that person, like $4,000 minimum, just to swap a single little doodle in their car. So it's not convenient. This is just for the enthusiasts out there. But I'm talking about just people, normal people. And I believe the enthusiasts will come later. If you want that clientele, you'll have it. But just make them so friendly for the average person. Make everything swappable. And if you think it's not possible, it is. It's just an engineering obstacle, a challenge for the engineer. That's all it is for the design team. It don't matter how the car looks. Absolutely doesn't matter how the car looks. Just make every piece swap friendly. All right. Don't even worry about the looks. And why not? Because the Tesla truck has proved that it really doesn't matter about looks, but about features. People wanted a truck that was bulletproof and they got it. All right. They didn't care that it looked like a polygon or as some like to say a trash can, which is a very funny. it does it does have that shape, and people still bought it because it's bulletproof. And yeah, it was cool. It's also cool that it's bulletproof. It just makes cars swappable. Don't matter what it looks like. Don't worry about it. People will buy it as long as it's truly swappable and friendly to the average Joe. And I mean the real average Joe, not like you and me, not like the real average. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. If you work customer service, you know what the real average Joe looks like. All right? Maybe I'm exaggerating, but make it so easy to change parts. So easy. And why stop there, right? Make it so you can swap every door, even the back door that opens up. You can imagine you can change that so that it goes up automatically with your controller on Bluetooth. Like make it in such a way that you can even upgrade your key so that your key can do other things to the car, like turn it on at a distance and open things at a distance. Well, imagine you can also swap it to things that can do that and even more. Maybe a door with Bluetooth for no apparent reason. Maybe a door that can charge your phone for no apparent reason. You can add a charger to your car that is wireless. I know you can already do that now, but I'm not talking about the one that you connect to the smoker connector. I'm talking about putting that on your doors or putting it in the center console, like that little armrest. Put it there. I know some cars have that. You have to make it so that this stock car can have that piece if this person wanted it to. How about the people that don't care about technology? This is another niche that you're gonna make money from. These people, people that are scared of the government and espionage, being tracked. Make a stock car. Just sell the body of the car, right, to those people, and that's it. Nothing in it. Nothing trackable. Nothing technological. Nothing. Just sell them parts to make everything as least technological possible, least advanced. Give them some analog speed, speed thingy looking speedometer, analog radio, wheel. Give them windows that you can roll with your hand, whatever you want. This is $1 million idea, and I'm being serious. If this doesn't happen in my lifetime, it will happen. Customizable cars. Well, we already have them. We don't really. We don't. We have an engineering problem and a greedy business model. Think about it. The enthusiasts, once people really get used to it and like it, some enthusiasts are gonna pop from them. They're just gonna get graduate. They're gonna level up. This consumer is gonna level and is gonna love this product so much, a couple of them, that they become enthusiasts and they'll try to figure out ways to even go above and beyond on their car parts. They'll probably make their first fake Tesla using this car by converting it into electric. Some people will make it into a fake Ferrari by making it look cool or just work as fast as a Ferrari. Other people will get their pickup truck monster trucks because they could do it. And then you have the enthusiasts of the past who are able to craft things for the car. You're basically the passionate mechanic of today, and he'll do some incredible things to this car. It's just gonna be fun. I can see it. I come from a universe where I make my own computer, my own PC, and people have fun with those pieces. I know that the PC is just supposed to do PC things, and still people swap things for the fun of it. They add colors to the things that you didn't think ever would have colors, like the motherboard and the battery and the RAM. Then they start adding, there's some enthusiasts out there that start adding figurines to their case because he has the glass. People that start adding grass and fake battles of Star Wars and 40K Hammer, Warhammer. They start adding toys inside the computer and it looks incredible. These people that start making computers in funny cases like a pizza box, that was me. Then other people do it in, I don't know, in a cube. That was Fred. He did a cube computer, mini cube. Just like the GameCube. It was fun, just have fun with your thing. Just have fun, that's all. Phones, we wish phones were like that too. It would be fun as well if phones were swappable and you could buy. Google has tried it, but it ended the program. We don't know why. I don't know why. I never investigated it. I don't know if phones is like a smart idea for it. People often, I don't know. It would be cool and it would be fun. And I'm looking for fun. I'm tired of efficient engineering. We can have that. We already do, but let's have some fun. All right. Life is, I've been getting too boring. Have you noticed that? Ever since the drugs stopped, have been, you know, the culture stopped in the 70s and 80s and 60s for the drugs. And now everything is very corporate looking. Everything is very squarey and rectangular. I'm going on a tangent over here, but I'm okay doing that. Everything is very straightforward. Everything is straight lines. And what I mean by that is everything, it's like a trailer. You know, trailers, how they look, the back part of the trailer when they pull things. It's like every building looks like that. That's it. That's it. All the same. So back in the 60s, we had things with curves. Cars had curves, and buildings had curves, and weird windows, and odd shapes that are not pentagons or triangles or rectangles, but trapezoids. And it would be fun. What's a fun time? And you know why? My speculation is because people were doing drugs that make you hallucinate. And in these hallucinations, people would see things warp because their eyes are not working properly. So things are warping. They're getting curvy. Kind of like being drunk 24/7 is the only thing I can compare it to because that's the only thing I've experienced. So anybody who has not experienced being drunk, you're not going to get it. But if you have, when you're drunk, the world kind of moves around and it's not squiggly or wobbly. But if you try hard enough, it does look like that. So if you drink hard enough, I imagine these people that were on drugs, it was such a common occurrence that businesses back then tried to make things appeal to the average person according to the experiences the average person has, or the creator himself has had, and he wants to represent it in his car or in his house or in his gas station in his business building. And so everything was squiggly. Now that there's no drugs and everything is so uptight and everything is about stock market and economy and everybody's so smart, buy a house, 10 houses, 20 houses, save for retirement, don't have fun. Nothing is fun anymore. And we're getting rid of kids too. Kids are not even like the centerpiece of the world at this moment. So it's getting very boring. And so I say, let's start making things for fun. Make a customizable car. Yeah, it could be less efficient and it could be nonsensical, maybe tedious to come up with the idea and for the engineers, and it's tedious for the factory to come up with all these swappable pieces and stock bodies, generates trash. Who knows? Who cares? It's so many. Why not do it? But let's have fun. That's what I say. Let's have a swappable car. You can use just modular car, call it. You can change everything. You don't need to be an expert mechanic. Every car is the same. The way it swaps things. Some pieces may differ here and then. Only if you want to go advanced mode, but most pieces should stay the same, as same as possible, so that if you know how to change the car one time, you know how to change the car in 10 years and 20 years. It would be so fun. It's just like the it's just like the electric vehicle that has a swappable battery. I saw this idea by China, where instead of charging your vehicle for hours to no end, you go to a swapping battery station where you just arrive, park there, a machine comes, opens from the bottom, takes out your battery from the car at the bottom, and swaps it for a fresh new battery that is full of battery. That's a great idea. It's fast, like putting gas in your car. It's just tedious, but it's a good idea. Yeah, so let's have fun. Let's have cars that are customizable. Let's make cars customizable again. Put that on the hat and make it green. Make cars customizable again. And it would go with the green. So you're not throwing away your car because a window broke or because one of your axles just gave out. Most people don't know about it, mechanics and they're too expensive. Sometimes it's easier to just buy a new car. And I'm here to say that we need men to start fixing cars again. And because it's an equal world, we'll have women do it too. It'll be so easy. Even women will do it too. And babies and kids. Why not kids? Let's have a stock car for kids so they can start learning to shop their own car first. That's fun. That is fun. Yeah, I guarantee you this is $1 million idea. $1 million. $1 million. The only way that this idea would fail, it would still be a great thing for the world, is if manufacturers start seeing the rise of customizable cars and then they start making their own customizable cars by improving their goddamn engineering to make it consumer friendly or customer friendly or swappable friendly or anything word before the word friendly. That's the only way that this idea could fail because it would have competition. Then you'll be competing. So it's going to get expensive. However, however, what you will have going on for you is that your car is 100% from the ground up customizable and made up that way. While the other people have to just engineer things a little different and make them more friendly to repair and things like that. But it would not, it would never be 100% customizable car. So, and even if that happens, you would have made companies finally improve their designs to make it easier for the common person. And for that reason alone, I think it's a win. It's a win for humanity. And it's a win for Americans. Swappable cars. Who wouldn't want to have a car with a tail in the back? Just even if it's not a race car, it just looks cool. I've seen that. I've seen people do that. I once wanted to buy a tail for the car, and then I saw the price like 100 something bucks or 160 bucks. Fine. I'm willing to put it on my car. Then I realized I have to screw and unscrew and do a bunch of random things to put that tail in. And I thought, all right, I'm not messing with the car. I'm not an expert. I don't know. Even if I make a hole here with a screw, is water gonna come through? I'm not an expert. Currently, you need to order this piece and then bring it to a mechanic, and not just any mechanic, but one that messes with customization. And then it costs you like $500 or more. And I think that's dumb. I just wanted to look my cheap car look fun, but it makes no sense because if I had the money, I wouldn't be driving that cheap car. I would already have bought the car that comes with the tail. Hmm. But I don't have the money. So what's the point? And then what we have is just a bunch of people driving boring cars, not even caring about them because they don't feel like their car belongs to them. It's just a number. And yeah, it's just like a number. So why should you care? Hmm. And that's how it goes. So if you have the money, time, focus, and connections to make this happen, you're guaranteed $1 million, probably a billion or a first trillion. Who knows? But you're definitely guaranteed to change the world for the better, to make it more fun, and it's gonna work out in your favor. It's gonna be an uphill battle, but if you believe in customizable cars, it could happen. People will buy them. Not if they're more expensive than a normal car, though. That's gonna be tough. But at least, guess it's supposed to be for the average person. The enthusiasts already have the money to change their cars. They already have the money and the connections and the mechanics. So you really need to make it super cheap. Make it stock. I think just start with having the car do nothing new. Absolutely nothing technological. Just make it basic, super basic. Back to the basics. Back to the oh shit, what's going on here? All right, this driving sucks. On the highway and the 3 lane became a 2 lane out of nowhere. And I was wall to wall with another car. It happens often. I know people that must have crashed like that before. It sucks. So I'm out. The highway of Austin. Yeah, that'd be cool. Swappable cars. So moving on to my next idea for funsies. If we ever go to space and colonize it, or even the moon, we should make a pool that is a sphere. That'd be fun. A pool that is a sphere chained to the ground and walls, and it's just water. I don't even know how you would make it into a sphere. But you could swim everywhere with it, just chain it so that it floats in the middle and then people can swim. But I think it could be very deadly, so I don't know how to not make it deadly because there's no gravity, so the water would not. I don't know. I don't think you'll float in the water. I think the water will stick to you and your body. I think it would be very dangerous and possible drown. So what about that same idea but on Earth? A pool that's a sphere floating in the sky with some chains. That is scary. How do you get on it? With a ladder, and then you're scared. What if the pool falls? In fact, what if it does? What if you're in the middle of this big old circle pool and it falls to the ground? Do you smash yourself and die, or do you float away? Do you touch the floor floating away? I think it depends on the size and the height, but I think you would float away. Uh. Otherwise, if it's too high and too little water, I think it would just become a waterfall and it would not do anything for you. Hmm. We are near my end of my podcast. This was a fun time. The $1 million idea. I guarantee it's an incredible idea. If this doesn't work out, because whatever you don't want to do it, but you're a car manufacturer listening to this or an engineer, for whatever reason, you listen to this, thank you very much. Think if it's possible to make the design of a car rather than efficient, make it more consumer friendly, where people and mechanics and your average person can just change things in the car a lot easier. Because in the department of cars of today, they're made purposely overcomplicated to change things. That's a problem. They're not being done that way for efficiency. Instead, it's just for purposely make it more difficult and make more money. And we are all about making money. And that's cool because we all want to make money. If we didn't, then nobody would be working, but everybody's working. So everybody has to make money, even if they don't want to, but they need the money. So I forgot where I was going to go with that. Oh, yeah. But this money hunger has gone too far. The greed is starting to show signs of sinfulness. And it's time to pedal back a little bit and start making things fun and easy to fix for the sake of it rather than for the sake of the money. Because when is it enough? Companies love to make record profits every single year. And honestly, they never stop wanting to do record profits. But once they get there, all they do is next year does make more record profits. And why? Because why not? Because they associate more money with improvement. As in, when you lift up a weight at the gym, your muscle grows and you've improved and you've gotten stronger. But what they don't know is that if you lift too much weight and your muscle grows too much and too much and too much, you're going to rip and say goodbye to the gym because your life is over. So the same goes to businesses. You cannot make money all the time. Eventually, you gotta chill. Start making things to help people. Oh, well, this traffic is weird. Yeah, that's what I say. Companies, you've done enough. 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 It's time. Some of them, not all, but it's time to make things fun. Start to make things fun again and easy. Easy to handle and repair. Honestly, anything that people do is just anything that people can do now, and it's already very difficult. It's changing your oil and your wheels and washing your car. That's it. So far, washing your car is the easy part, but as we get older and cars get taller and the dirt gets stickier, it gets harder. You know what I mean? Thank you very much for listening to my free idea podcast. Today, I actually had a good, useful idea. I believe so. I hope you enjoyed it, had fun, and it kept you busy while you wash your dishes. Bye bye.